Have you ever felt like your name was echoing in eternity, as if heaven itself paused just for you? Not in a crowd, not in a sermon, but in the quiet space between breaths, when the world is still and your soul aches for more. That's where it happens. That's where God speaks. And when He speaks, it's not just sound, it's power. The kind of power that created galaxies, parted seas, raised the dead. And now, it's whispering your name. He doesn't shout, He doesn't plead. He speaks with the authority of a father who knows the very number of hairs on your head. And the question isn't whether He's speaking. The question is, are you listening? Right now, you may be running on autopilot, going through the motions, smiling on the outside, but crumbling inside. You've tried to fill the emptiness with success, with people, with distractions, and none of it satisfies. That hunger in your spirit, that ache you can't name, it's not depression, it's not confusion, it's a summons. It's the Holy One, calling you by name, not just to awaken you, but to awaken His purpose in you. You were never meant to live numb. You were meant to live called. Don't let the noise of this world drown out the only voice that can save your soul. Because one whisper from God can change everything. Section 1. A holy interruption. In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 3, we see a moment that changed the course of Israel's history. The word of the Lord was rare in those days. Visions were not widespread. 1 Samuel 3:1 NRSV. In a time of silence, spiritual drought, God chose to speak. But not to a prophet, not to a king. He spoke to a child. Young Samuel was sleeping near the ark of God when he heard his name called. Samuel. Again. Samuel. Again. Samuel. 3 times he thought it was Eli, the priest, but Eli finally realized it was the voice of God. And when Samuel responded, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening," 1 Samuel 3:10, something shifted. That moment became the launchpad for a life that would carry the word of the Lord for decades. When you respond to God's voice, your life will never stay the same. Section 2. God still calls then and now. Don't believe the lie that God only called people in Bible times. He hasn't gone silent. We've just grown too loud. He still calls today. He called Moses from a burning bush. He called Mary through an angelic visitation. He called Saul on the Damascus road with a light so blinding it knocked him to the ground. He doesn't always use fire, or angels, or thunder. Sometimes He uses stillness, sorrow, longing. Sometimes He calls through the tears you cry alone at night. Sometimes through a sermon that feels written just for you. Sometimes through a quiet moment in Scripture when a single verse pierces your heart. He's still calling, and He's calling you. Section 3. A real story. Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Consider the life of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a theologian, a pastor, a man of deep conviction. During the rise of Nazi Germany, Bonhoeffer had every opportunity to stay silent, to protect his future, to avoid conflict. But when God called him to speak truth in the face of evil, he listened. His obedience cost him everything, his position, his freedom, even his life. But his soul remained free, and his legacy speaks louder than ever. He once wrote, "Being a Christian is less about cautiously avoiding sin than about courageously and actively doing God's will." Bonhoeffer didn't miss the moment, and because of that, generations after him still hear God's voice through his life. Section 4. How to recognize God's call. So how can you know it's God calling? Here are 4 sacred signs. 1. Stillness. God often speaks in the quiet. Eliminate distractions. Get alone with Him. 2. Scripture. The Bible is not just ink on paper. It breathes, it convicts, it calls. 3. Stirring. Pay attention to what breaks your heart or awakens a deep passion. That's often your divine assignment. 4. Confirmation. God will often confirm His voice through peace, repetition, godly counsel, and spiritual discernment. You don't need to force it. Just be open, be willing. Like Samuel, simply say, "Speak, Lord, I'm listening." You were not created to drift through life in silence. You were not born just to exist, but to respond to the one who made you. When God speaks your name, it's not for information, it's for transformation. He calls you not because you are ready, but because He is. Ready to heal what's broken. Ready to ignite what's dormant. Ready to rewrite the story you thought was over. So don't wait for the perfect moment. This is the moment. Don't wait until you feel worthy. He's already chosen you. He is calling you now, not to religion, but to relationship. Not to rules, but to revelation. Not to shame, but to glory. You may feel like you're too far gone, but there is no distance, no darkness, no past that can silence the voice of God when He speaks your name in love. And when you answer, the heavens don't just rejoice, they roar. Because one soul that says, "Yes, Lord," sets off a chain reaction of redemption. So today, as your heart stirs and your spirit awakens, dare to say it. Speak, Lord, your servant is listening. A sacred promise to hold on to. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1 ESV.